All right, welcome back. Today we're doing a deep dive into a review for the GT50 drone.
All right.
And the mission here is really to analyze why this drone, which is, relatively inexpensive, is getting called the perfect everyday aerial camera.
Instead of just another budget drone, yeah.
Exactly. So, okay, let's unpack this a bit. The core surprise, it seems, is that the GT50 gets this really satisfying mix of features, ease of use, and decent aerial video.
And photo performance.
Right, and photo performance, all without trying to compete with the big guys like DJI.
I think what's fascinating here and what the review really nails is the focus on the experience over just raw specs on a sheet.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it stresses that it doesn't feel like a cheap toy. The frame, the arms, they're surprisingly solid. They feel like they can handle a few minor bumps.
Which they will, especially with a new Pilot.
Exactly. And the setup is it's so straightforward. You unfold it, install the battery, connect the app, and you're pretty much ready to fly.
That's a huge first step for an everyday user.
It is.
So this is where it gets really interesting for me. How does it actually fly? The review's pretty clear. It calls the performance competent and stable. But, if it's not a flagship drone, how does it really hold up in the air?
And that's the key detail, right? It's the GPS-assisted hovering. For a beginner, that is everything.
Okay.
The system just holds its position really firmly. You get minimal drift, even if there's a light breeze.
So you're not fighting it constantly?
You're not fighting the hardware. The response is predictable. Takeoffs are smooth. It's forgiving. It lets you, the pilot, focus on getting a good shot.
It's not going to do wild acrobatic tricks or anything.
No. But for casual exploration, it feels reliable. Very reliable.
Let's talk about the visual output then, because ultimately that's the goal, right?
It is.
The camera is called a defining aspect. It apparently captures better detail and clarity than most drones in its budget class.
And the footage is usable. That's the key word here. The colors are reasonably balanced. The dynamic range is decent.
So you can actually see the details and the highlights and the shadows.
You can. It's not, to cinematic level. But it avoids that horrible, wild clipping you see in cheaper drones.
Where the sky just turns into a flat white blob.
Exactly. Or the shadows are just black mush. For an everyday user, just avoiding that is a massive win.
So the real hidden value, then, is the stability while you're moving.
Yes.
The review says that footage from, say, slow cinematic sweeps feels far smoother than cheaper drones that produce jittery video.
Absolutely. And that stability is what makes the other features actually work well.
Like the automated modes.
Right. You get GPS mode, follow me, orbit, waypoints, even return to home. And they work as you'd expect. The tracking is reliable in open spaces.
Which lets you focus on the shot composition, not just on the manual piloting.
Exactly.
But all those great features are useless if the battery dies in, 5 minutes? We've all seen those.
Oh, yeah. The frustratingly short flights.
The review confirms you get a decent chunk of flight time with each battery. Plus, the controller is comfortable and there's minimal lag.
And that all adds up. It boosts your confidence. So the GT50, it sort of shifts from being a toy-grade thing to a genuinely capable tool for just capturing memories.
So when we pull this all together, what does it really mean? The review seems to have found this sweet spot in consumer tech.
I think so. High competence, polished features, but without that flagship price tag.
It just delivers a surprisingly polished experience, so pretty much anyone can get good shots right out of the box.
Yeah. So here's a final provocative thought for you to explore. When you're looking at any piece of tech, how much value do you place on that reliable core stability, on usable automated features, versus just chasing the maximum theoretical specs on a page?
Is good enough sometimes the best possible option for most people?
Something to think about.
This is educational commentary and not medical advice.